And I think it's calling attention to a problem that they didn't know existed, right? Because like you said, they're like, I got a database.
Yeah.
Do you though? It's full of crap. It's full of people from open houses.
Dumpster fire.
That's I know.
Welcome everybody to Ask the Expert. And if you've watched this series before, you know that I bring in some incredibly talented people from inside and outside the industry and get to talk to them about what they're seeing, what they're feeling, and how they view the current situation. Look, there's a lot of noise out there in the market. The consumers see a lot of noise, agents see a lot of noise. Everybody needs some focus. That's going to be part about what we talk about today as we discuss kind of keeping it real and artificial intelligence. And I'm joined today by JMan. Why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah. Good morning or good afternoon. This is JMan Monero. JMan Speaks out of Rochester, New York.
You and I have known each other for a couple of years, and I guess you got some explaining to do for a couple of things. Your videos are always, yeah, your videos are always so like low key, low energy. You really kind of mail it in all the time, and yet people watch.
Truly, yeah. No. My videos, I try to stay as monotone as possible. Little energy, keep it the same all the time.
Yeah.
My muse is from Ferris Bueller, the teacher. It's like Bueller, 91.
Yeah.
Try to
Ben Stein.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's how I try to be like.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about, do you have a relationship or a history with Richard Simmons? Because I know that he frequently is involved in your live events and videos that I've seen. And man, I hadn't thought about him in a while.
Sweating to the, what is it? Sweating to the oldies. Look, as a kid, I remember him. He was iconic because he was a person who was happy in his own skin. He said, look, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna get people out of their seats. I'm gonna make them healthy. I'm gonna make them dance. And for me, it's perfect because it helps people to feel like all of us have this inner kid, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, we're okay being that inner kid when everybody else around us is doing the same thing, right? Like if I'm like, Chris, come on, we're gonna go dance. You're like, not today, Jay. We're not gonna do that. But if everybody around you got up and were like, hey, to the left, to the right now, let's clap it up, then everybody's having fun. And it's like, it's that old saying, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're, powerful beyond measure. It's our light. We're all meant to shine the way children do. And when we do that, we allow others to unconsciously do the same.
I try to bring a positive vibe to what I do at work and in life. But you clearly have taken it to another level, and so I'm glad you're on today to chat. I'm honored by your presence, and I hope to learn from you today. Tell me how you got into this wacky industry, and when was that, and kind of give us the origin story, if you will.
Yeah, origin story. You're talking about real estate or speaking? Because they're both wacky industries. Start with real
Let's go with
estate.
real estate. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Real estate.
So 2005, short story. I moved from Rochester to New York City in early 99 and 2000. I stayed there for a few years. When I moved back to Rochester, I had a really bad real estate experience, a bad real estate agent, okay? And he was successful. So I said to myself, damn, if this guy can do it, so can I. And I got my license in 2005. And the rest is history. There were some ebbs and flows, just like, it wasn't an overnight success, but 2005 to 2008, everybody was getting a mortgage. It's like Oprah was handing them out. You get a mortgage, you get a mortgage. And, then I made it through 2008, 9, 10, did a lot of prospecting, door knocking, expireds, all that when the market crashed. And so it's like, once you made it through that, you could do anything, right? So when the pandemic hit, it's like, wait, so we can't see our clients, but we have to do a lot of video? Like, I've been training for this my whole life.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah. So that brings me to today. 19 years later.
And you primarily are doing coaching and speaking at this point in your career? You still moving some houses?
Still moving some houses. My wife and I are a real estate team. She does the majority of the business. I think with 51 transactions last year.
Solid.
So would she's very good at taking care of the client, hand holding, communicating, all that. And I'm always very like, point me in the direction. Where are we going? What are we doing? I'll get it done. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
If and that's why we're a good team. She's very detail oriented, and I'm like that high D I, kind of get it done, but is it going to be fun at the same time?
Yeah. What does the average customer that you, not from the house sales, but the coaching and speaking customer, who does that look like? Is that an individual agent, a team, a broker, brand?
Yep. Well, and here's why, because I'm not a coach that wants to just fill up as many people as possible. I try to only work with the people that I feel I can really help, right?
Mhm.
So if somebody's struggling with social media, if somebody's really what I do is I help people overcome their fears and be their true authentic selves so that that can shine through in whatever content they're creating, right? Because I think I don't want you to create a facade that you want people to like, know, and trust. Because then once you meet them and they see the real you, you're going to lose know and trust because you're the wizard behind the screen.
And that kind of goes right to our keep it real kind of topic for today.
Absolutely. Yeah. In a world filled with technology, how can we be authentic?
What's the 10,000 foot answer to that question?
First, figure out who you are. That's step one. I think if you've been in this business a while, maybe you created a facade because you were like, you know what, I'm selling luxury real estate, and I got to be serious. I got to not
Dude,
tell jokes.
fake it till you make it is like on the back of the first business card, right? Like
Yeah,
it's ingrained in DNA not to be
I,
legitimate.
I hate that.
I do too. Yeah, it's
I
terrible.
hate it. What I like better, which is similar, is act as if.
Okay.
Right? Act as if I'm a successful luxury real estate agent or an agent, because I think that's what agents lack in the beginning. It's confidence.
Hmm.
You ask me, like, am I the right person for? Hell yes, I'm the best buyer's agent you'll ever meet. I'm the best listing agent you'll ever work with because I believe in myself. And I think that's what a lot of agents lack. It's like, oh, do you think you're going on a listing appointment? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. What? What are you saying? This is how you feed your family and this is how you take care of your clients, right? You build a legacy of people that are raving fans because they know you're going to do whatever it takes to help them achieve their dreams, man.
Yeah. The but there are meek, quiet, mousy real estate agents out there.
Yeah, there are. And there's a place for them because they're not everybody's going to like me, just like not everybody's going to like a quiet, introverted agent. We all have our ideal client. And I think
Yeah.
when we discover who we are, you don't have to be like me. If you are that quiet, introverted, very detail oriented real estate agent, guess what? There's a client, an engineer or an architect just waiting for you to call, and they're going to love you,
Yeah.
and they're going to hate me because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's too animated. I got that as feedback on a course recently. I was too animated and distracted from the content. I'm like, that's not going to stop. So I'm not your person, right? It's just figuring out.
I'm trying to reduce the amount of caffeine that I take, right? Like I'm working on it. It's a slow
I
process. And
I
it's
don't
not,
drink
I'm
any.
like,
I don't
you,
intake any
I,
caffeine. This is AD. This is extra. Yeah,
just
it's ADHD and being an extrovert, and
raw Jeremiah.
that's it. And even if with me running in the morning, it helps regulate my energy. If I don't run in the morning, I'm like the tiger in the cage. Like,
Did you get a couple miles in today?
yeah. Well, if I'm not running, then I'm you know did something at the gym and some
Yeah.
strength training and that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Just makes me peaceful.
Yeah. I hear you. I like
Oh,
to get out
tomorrow.
there and get some trail miles too, and it's easier to do it at the beginning of the day because it can be one of those rocks that you take care of. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you're exhausted and it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
So
Eat the frog, man. Eat the frog, right?
I don't know that one. Eat the frog.
Yeah, it's
Share with
it's
me.
it's it's from a book. It's like, you got to eat a frog and you're putting it off, you're putting it off, you're putting it off. Just first thing in the morning, eat the frog. It's just like the worst thing you have to do. It's a metaphor, obviously. Don't eat frogs. We don't want you to hurt any animals or living things, but it's done. And I feel like I use the hashtag win the wake up because I wake up super early and I do that. But winning the wake up truly is you get out of bed. Step one, you fought the alarm clock. You won. And you get out and do anything. I don't care if you walk your dog, right? There's magical moments before sunrise where the whole rest of the world is sleeping. That's a win. Like, that's a win to me where you're like, I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah, I hear
doing
you.
it because everybody else is asleep, and you know because you've done it. And the miracle, they've written books about it, but that's how I felt like that for decades.
So let's pivot back to the kind of the topic at hand,
Yeah.
and let's talk about technology and being authentic and communicating with people. We see a ton of databases, and they're all crap. They're all dirty. They're all
Oh,
full of errors and omissions.
yep. Mine was.
All the go ahead, sorry.
No, mine was. I'm
Yeah.
just agreeing with you.
uh,
I get an F.
a, a lot of these, right? A lot of these that we see are lead gen lists that get put into their CRM or their database, and because it's lead gen, on the capture side, like a Zillow or Realtor.com or Real Geeks or whatever, it's coming in and it's a buyer lead and it's somebody inquiring about a specific house. So as a lead, I'm telling you guys what you already know, but you get the email address and you get a phone number, and maybe those are valid, maybe not, but you don't know where they live. And the
Right.
the real problem here that we see from the dirty database side is you don't know if they are in Boston or Birmingham or Bismarck. You have no idea where that person is coming from. And especially if you're in a tourist market or, in a
Yeah.
beach
Yeah.
community or
Resort market. Yeah.
right, we're here in Colorado. So the ski resorts, we get tons of out of state people coming in. You don't know where those people are. How can you be authentic and market to someone if they are on the opposite coast from where you are or in a totally different market? I think data plays a role in being authentic, and that may be counterintuitive to some people.
Well, and I think there's so much there where we should be in a permission-based marketing world, right? Where I say, Chris, I meet you at the open house. Hey, you want to know about the market? Sure. Can I send you a market activity report? Absolutely. All right. What's the best email address for that? Now I've gotten permission to send you something of value.
Mhm.
Not please sign in. It's required. They put a spam email address in there, their Hotmail or their Yahoo or God forbid an AOL account, and then you spam them for the next 8 months and complain that it's not working. It's bad data, and you didn't. We gotta connect first, right? We gotta get their attention, conversate, add value in the middle of the funnel there, in order for that conversion to happen. Offer something of value first. I think we have to keep giving because so many of our potential clients are in that zero moment of truth before they've even decided to buy a home, right? That NAR says it's anywhere from 6 to 24 months.
Right.
They're going to open houses, they're doing research, and they're like, okay, they're checking out with all these different agents and seeing who can provide something of value, not who closes them or who tries to, hey, come to my office. I'm a salesperson, right?
Yeah.
Just be a human, connect with them, have a conversation, see if you can genuinely help them, and take it from there. Maybe it's not the right time for them, and that if you're a good agent, you should tell them that.
Especially with high interest rates. And inventory is coming up, by the way. That's super good. So it's higher than it has been in any time since the pandemic. So that's positive from a buyer standpoint. There's more people willing to take the step forward, right? But it sounds like you're more in the quality over quantity camp in this instance. Is
Thousand
that is
percent.
that the case?
Yeah, and that's with everything you do. Like when I talk to agents about social media, they're like, "How do I get to 10,000, 20,000, 50? How about 200? How about you have 200 people that like, know, and like that totally love you? And if you're in a decent market with an average sale price, you just need 1 out of 10 of those people to send you one referral per year. You do 20 transactions, you're making six figures, right? Rather than focusing on these vanity metrics, everybody's like, I want to go viral. I want to have this following. I want to have 1 million people. That feeds your ego. You want to feed your ego? Or do you want to feed your family? You know, it's about quality for sure. And that comes right back to the data and your database.
So one of the big problems that we see currently is that bad leads are causing fines and fees for real estate agents. And this is sort of just ramping up recently. Have you heard any noise about this out there?
No, but it's hard for me to hear noise because I'm so focused.
Ha!
But
So,
there are in some markets where, like New York State's one of them, where I'm at. When we're in a state of emergency, we're not supposed to cold call. And we're in a state of emergency since the pandemic, and it's not even pandemic related now. Now it has to do with gun violence. But before, so no cold calling whatsoever. Door knocking isn't considered cold calling, but calling on the phone or talking to people you've never
yeah,
met. And so that's you have bad data. You're calling people. They're PO'd. They're making they're filing complaints, and people are getting fined. I could see that.
the DNC list is one tool that the government is using to stop spam. By the way, I hate spam. I don't know anybody that's like, I freaking love spam. Give it to me, right? And yet,
I like
people that are
sales.
watching this spam the shit out of folks. I'm like,
Right.
stop spamming people.
The same people that when they get a call, like, not interested, hang up the phone, but then they pick up their phone and call.
Is this
Funny.
irony? Is this
Yeah,
like
exactly. So funny.
so? I want people to target people from a marketing standpoint directly. And you said door knocking, so the pop by. These are techniques that work and they're authentic, and it doesn't necessarily take artificial intelligence to be able to reach out and stop by and drop off a pie or a
Anything.
cake. Why did I go with
Anything.
desserts? I'm hungry.
Anything. Like I think people get wrapped up into like the cost of it or the price of it. Like, oh, I want to come by with like it's Memorial Day. You come by with some flags, right? When Memorial Day's coming. It's not what it is. It's that you did.
Yeah,
And if you work even smarter and say, okay, of my database, wow, Chris, he's a likely to move. I'm going to
yeah,
bring him a full size flag
yeah.
for
Instead
Memorial
of
Day.
doing it for everybody, you're doing it for.
The folks who are more likely to transact, so you can hit them earlier on and they can receive your service and be happy.
One of my favorite pop by stories ties it back into the house. So lots of people do pumpkins for Halloween, and that's fine. I think that's a great method. Roses for Valentine's Day. The clever one that I heard recently was one of our customers shared with me was 9-volt smoke alarm batteries.
Mm,
Got a backpack full of them. Knock on the door. Hey, just wondering if you have any of those smoke alarms where you pulled the battery out and you need to replace it. We want to make sure that your house is safe, because that's what everyone does, right? Pull the damn
absolutely.
battery. It's beeping. Pull the battery out. Don't replace it. Show up with the battery. Hey, care about you. Care about your family. Care about your house. And it's a 9-volt, like super easy. It's just a pain in the butt to go grab one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's legitimate, like it's actual value that you're bringing to their door, and it doesn't need a specific holiday, and you aren't going to be zigging when everyone else is zagging. I totally love that.
Well, it shows that you care, and I think just do that and then walk away. Right? Don't be like, oh, by the way, Chris, I know I brought you this. Here's my card. Don't forget. It's like, you ruined it. Like you had a great moment.
Yeah,
And they're just waiting for you to be that salesperson that they always thought you were. Because in real estate, they rank us just above car salespeople as far as how much they trust us. It's about the 27th percentile.
true.
And it's like if you could just be human, care, have a conversation, and be like, oh, I got to get going. I got another appointment, but it's great to see you. As much as you want to, as much as you want to go, I want to tell you, they know you're in real estate, man. Just walk away. Just walk
I
away.
mean,
Be a
you're no
human.
doubt wearing
Right.
the logo, right? It's right there. They get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, what is the proper follow up in that instance? What is the appropriate way to
Well,
touch base again?
hit them up. You can go Facebook Messenger. It all depends on the client, right? If they're on social media and we're connected, I might say, "Hey, just a reminder. Did you actually put the 9-volt in? Like bring it
Yeah,
right back,
yeah,
like you're following up." Or it could be a text message. It could be, like right about now, we'll send out a our festival series, like things to do outside this time of year, like
Hmm.
parades and festivals and things to go to. So we might send that out and then follow up. And it's just impressions. I don't feel the need to throw up on people and tell them what I do. It's just keeping in touch and showing them that I care. The business will happen.
Your festival idea is fantastic because you could make a PDF, you can drop that into a Facebook Messenger, you can drop that into an email, or you can
Send a postcard.
physically mail it to them. Yeah,
Yeah, the postcards work best for us because it's like that's a keeper because they put it on the fridge because it's
love it.
multiple things,
Yeah.
right? It's always like, how can I increase the shelf life? You send them like recipes, like we sent out one like, hey, if you need me to remind you to change your clock, we don't have to be friends anymore. Like, it's true, right? It's true. Like,
That's good.
do
Yeah.
something different because it's like this changes automatically, folks. When it's time, it goes beep. Like if you need a reminder, like
Yeah,
just be a little bit different and like that's. But if my clients get that from me, they know me and that's my like that's my sense of humor and they would laugh because they'd go,
for
well, that's
sure.
true.
And again,
Like,
that's not going to work for everybody,
right,
but
it's not going to
yeah,
work for everybody.
sending them a postcard that says this is not another friggin' brownie recipe would be on brand. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah,
Yep.
this is
Matter of
not
fact,
what
send
you're.
me your brownie recipes. I
Yeah.
want to see which ones are the best.
Oh God.
Let's have a brownie cook-off.
No, maybe that's you. That would kill. That would kill.
Oh, well,
Yeah, so,
Colorado's a different story, but you guys, same as us.
yeah, we would probably do a different Popeye, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we would really like to help people out with is cleaning up their database, pointing them in the right direction. We do the free database grading audit. I know that when you're out in the field, you've shared that with some folks that you when you're doing training and such. How has that
Yeah.
been received? Are people appreciative of the free database grading audit?
And I think it's calling attention to a problem that they didn't know existed, right? Because like you said, they're like, I got a database.
Yeah.
Do you though? It's full of
Mhm.
crap. It's full of people from open houses.
Dumpster fire.
It's a dumpster. That's a good mailer, like your database, like a dumpster on fire, and then and then here's Revaluate, like putting it out and like making it all better. But it's
Yeah.
it's it's a problem that didn't know existed because some of them when they got in, what did they do? They went to Facebook, they scraped email addresses off of every person's profile, and they're like, oh, let me just get as many as I can, and quality over quantity, and then being able to communicate with them, create campaigns. Using AI, but like I said in the beginning, like keeping it real with AI means teaching the artificial intelligence about you, your brand voice, your core values, so it communicates on behalf of you as part of your team, right? If you had an assistant, a real human in your office, you wouldn't tell them, create a campaign, and they don't know anything about your business because it wouldn't be in line. So you got to do that first with AI.
We have evidence from our customers that says do not pick up like when Revaluate identifies somebody as likely to move using our AI, and they pick up the phone and say, "My AI told me that you're likely to move." Guess how often that works?
Zero. I tried that in the beginning.
It's not
Because I
not a
was like,
successful approach.
hey, I'm looking at my crystal ball. It's a little
Yeah,
cloudy.
yeah,
Are you you need the real estate superhero to give you a call or just no, I'm just checking on you. How's everything? You know,
yeah.
and you know what's interesting? I'm good at sidetracking, but I had a millennial client's mother come up as likely to sell because she was the one doing a lot of the searching on behalf of.
Mm, okay, so how did that scripting go? Yeah, how did that
But yeah, it was
transpire?
just similar. Just had a conversation. Oh, and they're like, oh, I'm glad you called. And like, oh, were you thinking about making a move or what's the situation? Oh, no, Chris and her daughter,
Yeah,
Chris. I've been looking for them and then so she was researching storage facilities. She wanted to find boxes and doing all these things, which triggered,
just feeds our stuff. Yeah,
yeah, feeds it. So, because I was like, no way is she. Believe the data, folks, because sometimes, it's almost like when Waze tells you to go a certain direction, you're like, that's not the way, I know. And then you ignore it, and then you're stuck in traffic. It knows. It knows the right way. Just trust it.
that's awesome. Yeah, I think having actual conversations with people and listening, asking questions and listening. I feel like that's the authentic way to be helpful for your customers.
Be a human being. That sounds groundbreaking.
I think that's a good takeaway. I think that's pretty solid.
Be a human. Care about people.
JMan, awesome to have you here today. Thank you so much. If any of the people watching would like to learn more about you or get in contact, hire you to speak or coach or sell their house for them, because probably referral situation, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help. Anywhere in New York, I have people everywhere. We can help you, but JMan social media, you can go to jmansocialmedia.com. That'll take you to my link tree. There you can get your free audit with Revaluate, as well as my equipment recommendations there's a lot of resources for you for free if you're watching this, equipment recommendations for video and other things. But we're here to help.
Very awesome. Thanks so much, man. Until next time.
Thank you, Chris.
You ready from a technology and everything standpoint?
Hold on. All right, now I'm ready.
I got to get a good mic like you've got. That's on my list, on my shopping list.
But this is my natural sounding voice. It does have a deep
Velvet. Chocolatey velvet.
There is a setting to put it on, but I'm just like, this is my voice. If I sound like Steve Urkel, I don't give a shit.